Today we're starting work on the kitchen, so as always, first we gotta prepare the materials. So this is the front of the kitchen module here. This is where the sink is going to go. The fridge is going to go down there, but there's a bit of a gap in the floor. So I made this wooden board here so that the fridge has an even platform to stand on. So we have installed the fridge down here with the compressor on top of it, and it all works nicely. For this conversion, my dad is helping me with the electrical, and what I mean by helping me is that he's doing it all for me because I don't quite understand it. I'm listening and learning, but I don't quite understand it yet.
Soll ich das da einmal aufwickeln? Einmal drauflegen. Perfekt. Und jetzt machen wir das Ganze nochmal bei 30. Und ich halte es fest, damit es nicht total ausfranst oder ausbricht. Drück mal drauf, damit du mal siehst, wie das anläuft. Und dann immer drücken und laufen lassen. Ja? Nicht aufhören, weil dann steckt zum Schluss das Segelblatt fest. Ja?
Gut.
Also draufdrücken. Ja, nach vorne. Also das sind
Das extra, ne? Nicht genau machen.
Ja. Das ist 1,40 Meter. Ist 1,40 Meter pro Verbindung. Das gibt einen riesen Kabelstrang.
Would you like to explain what you've built here so we can report it to the insurance company when it blows up?
This is the 12-volt DC network, and the components here are like a 50 amps main fuse, and then we have the fuse box here, and from the fuse box we go into this main panel board. And what we're doing now is we are testing the setup, if the basic wiring is correct.
And what if it's not?
If it's not, then I will look. If it's not, then I will look energized. Drei, zwei, eins.
Jetzt haben wir es.
Roland! Roland! Alle Lichter brennen!
Nice.
So, jetzt müsste das auch hier so sein. Gerade mal gucken hier, dass man hier das Licht ein- und ausmachen kann. So, das heißt, wir machen hier ein Stückchen Holz auf dem Boden, dann haben wir einen hinteren Anschlag Dann machen wir ein langes Brett auf den Boden.
Hier haben wir, die Batterie ist 16,5 bereit, das heißt, wir brauchen dann
17. Brauche ich eins davon. Und dann brauche ich eins davon. Und dann brauche ich eins davon. Und dann brauche ich eins davon. So, okay.
Rot oder schwarz?
Schwarz hier, der hier. Pass auf, dass die Schraube nicht kaputt machst, ja? Weil die musst du bei Gelegenheit dann mal aufmachen.
Ja.
Zange.
Die oder die Crimp?
Ja,
So.
die hier ist gut. Die ist gut. So. Okay. Hier rein. So, das. Okay. Zack. Ja, okay, wir haben Strom.
Nice. Also da kann's hin. So.
Mhm. Ja. So, jetzt kannst du da oben noch einen Kabelbinder durchmachen. Ja. Ja, perfekt. Perfekt.
Du bist sehr genau, du bist an für sich für einen Schreinerberuf bist du nicht geeignet, sondern du musst Metalle, und zwar am Werkzeug machen. Die rechnen nämlich mit Hundertstel und Tausendstel Millimeter.
Sehr gut, das sind meine Leute. Warum geht das so schwer?
Ja, das liegt jetzt Holz.
This is the tabletop that I bought for the van. I bought it because I really liked the pattern. It's like dark wood. But I failed to think about two things, which is how easy it is to work with and weight. Turns out it's not easy to work with. It's very densely packed like wood something, and our tools just can't get through it. They keep running off because the wood is so hard. So you can't cut in a straight line, and we can't cut out the hole for the sink. And weight is the second thing I failed to consider, because this thing is heavy. Like, even this little end piece here, like, you know, I can lift it, but for a tabletop in a van, it is way too heavy. So now we're going back to the hardware store to buy another tabletop, this time considering all the relevant factors. It's kind of annoying me that I didn't do that the first time, and now I have to go and buy a second one, but, you know, live and learn.
So, Zähne bohren. Also wenn du da weg ist, jetzt ein Millimeter, bist du so ein Millimeter Freak, da neu kommst, ist das kein Problem. Gell? Wir nehmen nachher sowieso noch einen Pfeil und feilen das ein bisschen rund, dass das schön aussieht.
Ja.
Dann kommt sie immer weiter da raus.
Ja.
Ja, hier ist eine Linie.
Ja.
Gut. Und wenn ich festhalte.
Jo.
This a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And this a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And this a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it.
We've moved everything into the garage because it makes it easier to work on, because we can access it from all sides to install the gas pipes and the water lines and so on. I'm also working on what the storage solution is going to be, because we have the gas going in at the back of the kitchen module, and then in the middle we're going to have storage, and we either have these drawers here. We have big ones and small ones, so we could put a big one at the bottom and then two small ones on top or something like that. But I just want to see if there's any better storage solution, or more versatile one maybe. We've already kind of loosely mounted the gas pipes where we want them. Now we just need to permanently install them basically. And I'm just hoping that that's not going to be as tedious as I think it's going to be. And then we need to install the water tanks. And we need to make sure that the runoff from the sink into the grey water tank is at, enough of an angle that the water flows even if the van isn't perfectly level and so on, because right now it's kind of flat, which means if the van is slightly angled backwards or, on an incline or whatever, the water won't flow out of the sink. So we need to find a solution for that. But less talking, more working. It's November, which means it gets dark out early, so I'm working with candlelight, well, modern day candlelight, trying to install these drawer runners here to put this drawer into this part of the kitchen counter. I've never done this before, and I'm hoping that I can get the two runners to be exactly parallel first try, so that there's no problems with the drawer going in and out. But see how it goes. Alright, now for the moment of truth. Will the drawer fit? Let's see. Oh. What have I hit? Come on. What's going on? Why is it not sliding? Okay, that looks good. Okay. Is it getting stuck or is that just me? I mean, it seems fine. I can't tell if it's getting stuck or not. So it's installed, but the tolerance is so tight that I can't tell if it's rubbing or if it's just like right up against it. But when it closes, you can see that it just kind of barely tucks underneath there. I know you can't see, it's kind of dark, but you get the idea. But it's getting pretty dark. This is my only light. So I think I'm gonna do the rest tomorrow just to get it perfect, you know. But as a first draft, not bad. Not bad at all. Could be a lot worse. Just wired up the fridge here. So now if we turn it on the panel and turn it on here, the compressor should turn on. You probably can't hear that, but it's making a noise. The fridge seems to work.
It's called testing equipment. Ja, da ist aber was falsch verdrahtet hier oben, weil das sollte nicht ständig laufen.
Attempt number 2.
So, jetzt
Aha.
geht gar nichts.
Better.
Ja?
Ja.
So, jetzt drehen wir das weiter auf.
Nice.
Jetzt mal wieder zu. Ah! Kaum macht man es richtig, geht sogar.
So we wired up the faucet so that the pump only runs when you turn the water on, even if it's switched on. Because before it was running constantly when you hit the switch. We don't want that. So now that works. We also wired up the fridge, so that works. We have some drinks in there to see if it's going to be cool. The compressor just turned off, so I'm assuming that means it's down to temperature. I don't know. Yeah, but it's looking good. We also installed up here this little box, this thing, which is a voltage limiter for 12 volts because I heard that the motherboard in the Max Air fan can burn out if it gets over like 13 volts or something. I don't know. It's not completely necessary, but peace of mind. I'm now going to secure the kitchen module and the bed module to the floor of the van because when I hit the brakes I don't want to die. I'm going to do that by using this metric screw here, I think it's called a metric screw anyway, and this nut which has threads on the outside of it, and then a hole for the metric screw on the inside, so this gets screwed into the ground and then the metric screw gets screwed into this, and then that's how it holds it in place. Is the wooden panel that we cut out of the tabletop to put the sink in, and I want to turn it into a desk so that you can sit in this chair and work, and I think the best way to do that is to have it fold up from here. So I'm gonna measure it and see how much of it I can use, because obviously there are, you know, holes everywhere and it's kind of roughly cut out. Now, before I install the table, I first need to install the panels that will go on the outside of the kitchen, and I will start with this one here, which is the front panel with the cutout for the fridge at the bottom, which this table here will fold down over. So I need to install this first because the table goes on top of it. So I finished installing all the panels on the kitchen, so now we're going to install the desk. It's going to fold down here, and to do that we have these metal brackets, I don't know, whatever they're called, which somehow, there we go, which fold up, lock into place, and then with this release here they fold back down and fold flat against the wall. So yes. We're nearing the end of the build, so I decided to start working on the floor. So we went to the hardware store and I picked up this roll of AstroTurf, because why not? So I just need to measure out how much of it I need, cut it out accordingly so it's ready to go when the van is finished. And we just need to lay it down, stick it to the floor, and be on our way. I finished cutting out the floor mats out of the AstroTurf, so they're all ready to go in once I'm done. But before I'm done, there's one more thing I want to build, which is a standing desk back here, so you can stand, under the cover of the boot lid, I guess, and stand while you're doing work or, eating, drinking, whatever. So to do that, I bought this tabletop here, just a tabletop. And then I've bought a bunch of pipes because I want to build it like a lagoon style leg, which are the ones that can kind of move around and are adjustable. But the lagoon leg costs like 140 euro or something, which for a piece of metal is a bit ridiculous. But I went online and I saw that some people kind of build it themselves out of pipes, so I thought I'd try that. That being said, having a rough look at it now, I think I'm starting to understand why the lagoon leg is so expensive, because this doesn't look nearly as sturdy as that, or as easy. It should be simple enough, but we'll see. In order for the table to be removable when I'm not using it, the table leg needs to come out, so I need a mounting point for it here. So I cut off this shorter piece of tube and I'm going to screw it into the kitchen cabinet at the bottom here, so the table leg can just slide in like that, and then I can just take it out and stow it away when I'm not using it. point for the table leg is secured in place. I screwed it into the back of the kitchen, and the table leg slots in there. Right now it takes quite a bit of force to get it to actually go in, so I want to see if I can make that smoother, but as a proof of concept, you know, it slots in, moves around, the tabletop on top of it, it holds it, you know, it works, so it's a start. The table leg is made out of what I think are plumbing pipes. I'm not quite sure. They're just pipes that I found at the hardware store, but you can connect them using these angular connectors. Yeah, they kind of just screw together, which is great because they're easy to work with, but I don't trust this table leg when it comes to holding any sort of weight, because I feel like if you put something heavy on it and it's, you know, slightly off kilter, then the weight could loosen the connection, and if that heavy thing is something valuable like a laptop or something, then you don't really want that, you know. So what I'm going to do is where the pipe meets the angle, I'm going to screw through the connection point and put a bolt through it or something so that it locks in place and can't unscrew, just for peace of mind, so you can actually, you know, use it. Great. So, it's not as straightforward as I thought it was going to be. I drilled through the first set of threads and that worked fine. Pushed a bolt through, locked it in place, everything was alright. But when I drilled through the second set of threads, I missed, because on this side the angle has no lip, but on this side it has a little lip here, which means that the hole that I drilled ended up being closer to the bracket, which means that when I drilled in, I missed the threads of the pole. I don't know how to fix it or what to do differently right now, so I need to think about it and find a better solution. Yeah, not as straightforward as I thought it was going to be. God damn it. So I finally figured out a solution for the table leg problem I was having, and it's actually quite simple. I don't know how I didn't think of this sooner. So basically, if I take the table leg, which is connected to the floor of the van, and I unscrew it from the other leg, like this, right? And now I take the pipe that's in my left hand and I put it in my right hand, like that. And now if I take 3 steps back, 1, 2, 3, I can bend down and I can pull out the trash can. And now by rotating these so that the big part is at the top, they fit quite nicely in the trash can, which then enables me to go up and start from scratch on a new table concept, which looks like this. This is my solution to the table leg problem I was having. It's a much simpler table concept. It's a folding table made out of scrap wood left over from the kitchen desk, and it's just attached to the back of the kitchen counter with 3 hinges and held up by this removable leg which magnetizes to the wall for storage, like that. It's a much simpler concept than the other table, and a byproduct of that is that it's also sturdier than the other table was. So if I take this table leg and slide it into the holders in the ground here and then lock it into the bottom of the table, I can put a lot of weight and pressure on it. You know, I can really go at it. So I'm a lot more confident in this one holding things, which is what a table is for. So that's good. So anyway, now that that's done, I can move on to installing the grass floor, and I think then I'm done, which is a bizarre concept at this point.